Some of you may have heard of this mythical land that is shrouded in mystery, and it's called the United States of America. Now, in the past, I've been to this mythical land. For example, I went to New York where the buildings were very tall, and then I went to California. Don't go to California. But when I returned home, I looked online on this mythical land of America, and they had so many things I missed out on. Like, for example, burger joints that if you're over 350 pounds, you can eat there for free. And also, I didn't even know this, but they have a president that leads all the people of America, and he regularly falls off his bike. But in such a large country, many things can go wrong, and I have a perfect example of that in today's video. Now, in America, deep down in the South, you have a state that's called Texas. And adjoining that state is another state called New Mexico, where they shot a show called Breaking Bad. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's kind of niche. Not really a lot of people talk about it. But anyway, this is about Texas. In Texas, there's a city. That city is called Denison. And in that city of Denison, there's a police department. And recently, a video has surfaced of 3 police officers harassing a guy for seemingly no reason apart from them having a slow day. And I think for this video, it's kind of irrelevant what your opinion on police is. It's more just the fact that this guy goes up against 3 cops and he does the equivalent of an Uno reverse card on every single one of them.
Me? Yeah. How you doing? Doing all right.
I don't have a problem with filming, but what I do have a problem with is come back on the back lot where all the personal cars are.
Am I detained?
No, sir.
Okay, I'll see you guys later.
Already you can tell that this guy has maxed out his charisma because he's doing an 100% speech check on every single officer.
I don't have a problem with filming.
If you heard at the beginning, that cop said he didn't have a problem with the guy filming, which, you know, even if he did have a problem with it, he's not allowed to because he's in a public place. You're allowed to film in public places. Obviously, somewhere private, like a shopping mall or a shop, you're not allowed to film because it's up to whoever owns the building. But on a sidewalk in a public place, you are allowed to film. A good example of this, by the way, a little bit of a tangent, there was a YouTube channel a fair few years ago called Surveillance Cameraman, and this guy would do the same thing, go out in public and just film people and gauge their reactions.
Why not?
Who are you? What are you doing?
Oh my god!
I never had somebody take that much interest in me before.
By the way, if any of you watching remember this guy and I've just unlocked like an age-old memory for you, he actually has a new channel now called Vagrant Holiday where he travels across America, pretty much across the world on zero budget apart from the plane ticket there. He sleeps in sleeping bags in the middle of the woods. Sometimes he gets robbed. It is amazing content. Like, I know this is a different topic, but definitely check that out as well. Anyways, back onto the confrontation. The reason why this is so juicy is because these 3 cops, you will feel sorry for them by the end of this video because they chose to pick on someone who knows the law. And I'm sure you've seen many of these videos before where a cop pulls someone over and they're like a lawyer and they know how the law works. They know what their rights are. They know what information they have to give and what information they don't. And it's so good seeing a situation where a civilian knows more about the law than the cops do and they get completely stun-locked.
What's your name?
What's your name?
I don't need to give you my name.
No, do I, sir?
Yeah, you do. I'll go look. All right, I'll go FOIA your policies and see if you do.
Sure.
It's not on your shirt. How do I know you're even a cop?
Really? I'm at the police station. You're filming this up here.
That doesn't mean anything.
Honestly, I had no idea what a FOIA request was until watching this video. And by the look of it, the cop didn't know either. When I heard the word FOIA, it sounds like a building grenade that they added into Fortnite. So apparently in most cases, when you ask the police for their name and badge number, they have to give it to you. It's their legal requirement, you know, to prove that they're actually police and not someone impersonating them just wearing a bunch of badges, which does happen. Surprisingly, police impersonation is a very common thing. The thing is with this situation, because there was 3 cops and 1 guy, they probably assumed that he wouldn't be asking for the name and badge number because, you know, he'd be so intimidated. But I love as soon as the guy asks, the cop just, you know, meekly goes, "Is that true?" Like he has no idea how to react. And also keep in mind when he said he doesn't need to give his name and badge number, 2 seconds later, the guy filming checks his arm and he sees the name and badge number anyway.
What's your name?
I'm asking you to leave the police department.
Carney. C-A-R-N-E-Y.
I'm asking you to
Don't get jumpy, sweetheart. What's your name?
Don't call me sweetheart.
Don't get jumpy.
I'm asking you.
I think, honestly, I'm on this guy's side. I think this is hilarious. The only thing I don't vibe with in this video is the guy calling the girl sweetheart. I mean, you know, it kind of gives the energy that he's about to take off his fedora, give it a little tip, and then show how much gold he has on his Reddit account. But at the same time, he's basically taking on the equivalent of an Elden Ring 3v1 gank, and he's winning. It'd be so genius. 9 damage. He's winning, which is like unheard of. So his ego is probably flying a little bit high at the minute, which I can understand. I don't justify it. I just can understand it. And the best thing is, after dealing with, you know, the front cop who's basically doing all the talking, he goes to the other 2 cops that are there just as muscle to intimidate the guy. He asks them for their name and badge number. And it's like they're in a JCS interrogation video. They know that anything they say can be used against them. It's like they're waiting for Saul Goodman to come and cover them or something.
I'll call you what I want. You understand? What's your name? What's your name? You got a bunch of disrespectful punks over here, huh? Shumate, what's your badge number? Is it 235? Who's the kid?
What kid? He's a police officer, sir. Okay, I'm asking you to get off.
I thought you had to go through puberty before you could become a police
I'm
officer.
asking you to get off the police department property.
I like how it's turned from a police confrontation into a try not to laugh challenge. You can see the cop with the name Shumate. I think that's kind of a... I don't know if that's a surname. I'm assuming it is. I've never heard of the surname Shumate in my entire life. I thought his name was Shoe Nice.
Hey everyone, Shoe Nice again.
But you can see him chewing onto his gum, and it's not like an angry chew like he's about to let rip. It's more like he's just trying not to laugh himself. And I know it's pointed out in the video and the subtitles, but the female officer just starts laughing at the guy being roasted for being called a kid. Again, it's irrelevant what your opinion on police is, whether you like them or you hate them, but again, it's like seeing people down so bad that they're resorting to friendly firing each other. It's just disastrous. The thing is, he keeps reiterating, you're on police property, you're in the parking lot, almost like, you know, he's deep in the parking lot or right outside the police station knocking on the door. You can see him aim the camera down the street. He's on the sidewalk. He's on the sidewalk, basically into the road. You'd kind of hope with these cops that, you know, because it's a slow day, that they treat people with respect. Obviously not. They have to treat everything like a bandit in Skyrim that tries to rob you. The thing is, I didn't even notice this until a rewatch, but you can see the officer Shumate. Even he's smirking when he's being roasted. Like, you think at one point all the cops are just gonna like look at each other, start laughing like they're bad guys in a Disney film, and it's like, you can come with us. You know what? We'll let you off the hook. Why don't you come inside the station? You can be our jester. Come and tell us jokes. We'll even pay you for it because we've got nothing else to do at the minute. One thing you've definitely noticed by now, which was apparent from the start, the front cop who started the interaction, he has no leeway whatsoever, and he knows to even book the guy and arrest him. The charge would be BS, and it means more work for him because he's got to write down the paperwork and a description and everything that happened, and he can't be asked. He literally walked over there to intimidate the guy, and he completely fell flat on his face. The conversation gets so bad that the guy basically just says, should I go walk in a road? And then the cop goes, yeah, okay, yeah, sure.
I'm not on the property. I'm on the public sidewalk.
This is part of the property.
No, this is a public easement right next to the road.
Okay.
You want me to walk in the road?
Sure.
That's what you want me to do?
No. You do what you want to do, sir.
This officer is now so stun-locked, he's having an argument in his own head, like we're dealing with Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. He asks him to go walk into the road, and then he's asked straight after to not walk into the road. So which one is it? Do I go stand in the road and get run over, or don't I? It's just so obvious that these 3 cops were so bored, and they just thought, you know, hey, look at this guy. We're gonna go over and troll him because we've got badges. He'll be so scared. Watch this. And then the ones that ended up getting trolled. You see so many interactions like this, and, you know, they're all over YouTube, Facebook, if you're over 40 and still use Facebook, Twitter, but I don't think I've seen an interaction where one guy fends off 3 different cops. And I mean, to be fair, it's only one of them speaking, but they know what they're doing. If you see a group of people, you naturally get intimidated. But the fact you've got one cop repeating the same lines of dialogue and the other 2 not even talking like he's completed their quest, it's embarrassing. They look, if I ever visited Denison in Texas, I would only associate it with this horrible, awkward, cringe interaction where you got owned by a guy that probably posted it on Reddit straight after.